Welcome back to the Wargrove of Woe, where today we're going to be talking about the Flesh Eater Court Battleline options. First up, you have your Crypt ghouls. These are your rank and file infantry units, and they will make up the bulk of your battle line. They have a basic stat line of 6-inch move, 10 bravery, 1 wound apiece, and a 6-up save. Their melee profile is 1-inch reach, 2 attacks, 3 for the leader, 4s to hit, and 4s to wound, no rend, 1 damage. If you take them in large squads, more than 20, they get an additional attack. And if they are wholly within 18 of an abhorrent hero, they can reroll hit rolls of 1. Their battlefield role is cannon fodder. You're going to be wanting to take these guys in large units of more than 20 to make use of their bonus to attack. They're very cheap. And with the amount of bodies that they can put out, they secure objectives fairly well. And if you have enough of them, you can do a fairly substantial amount of damage just through the sheer volume of attacks that you can put out. They're also good for screening. Some good buffs to have in mind, and this applies to all of the battle line options, is the Black Hunger spell from the Abhorrent Ghoul King. It gives the unit +1 attack. And then there's a upgraded version of this, Ferocious Hunger, from the Abhorrent Archregent, which gives D3 attacks. With all these buffs in mind, the +1 from large numbers, the +1 from the Black Hunger, and a D3 from this, you can have each model, not unit, each model throwing out a maximum of 6 or 7 attacks. And then you multiply that by however many models you can swing at, and you are just going to win by sheer volume of attacks. To maximize the efficientness of Crypt ghouls, I would take in squads of 20 to 30 if you're wanting to use them offensively, and always keep them near those abhorrent heroes to A, give them those buffs for their spells, and also the rerolling ones to hit. Next, we go on to the conditional battle line options. First up, we have the Crypt flayers. In order to take these, you must have a Crypt Infernal Courtier General or be in the Blister Skin subfaction. They have a pretty fast movement of 12 inches, 10 bravery, 4 wounds apiece, and a 5-up save. Their melee profile is pretty good at 1-inch reach, 4 attacks, 5s for the leader, 4s to hit, 3s to wound, 1 rend, 1 damage. They also have a very unique missile profile where it's a 10-inch reach, and then for each Crypt Flare you have, roll 2d6, subtract 2 from that roll if the enemy is more than 3 inches away, and whatever the difference is between that roll and the enemy's bravery, you deal that in mortal wounds. So that was a mouthful of words, but let's say, for example, you are screaming at a unit of clan rats. You would roll 2d6, and if they are farther away than 3 inches, you would subtract 2. So say you rolled a 10, and they're farther away, so you would have an 8. Clan rat bravery is, I think, 4 or 5. So the difference between 8 and 4 is 4. So you would deal 4 mortal wounds to that unit. And you do this roll sequence for each Crypt Flayer. Their only unique ability is 6 to hit with their melee weapon, deals 1 mortal wound in addition to normal damage. So think of your Crypt Flayers as a pseudo cavalry unit. They're fast. You should be flanking your enemies with these guys, threatening objectives. And if your enemies have low bravery units, your scream ability can do some hurt. Like I previously mentioned with the Crypt ghouls, the Black Hunger and the Ferocious Hunger are good buffs to put on these guys if that's what you deem tactically viable in the moment. To maximize the efficientness of them, I would take in squads of 3 and have them float around the edges of an enemy's defenses, picking off low bravery units or kind of chipping away at the holes in their line or the weak points, really. You want to be utilizing their speed and their ability to fly to kind of hit the enemy where they're most vulnerable. Crypt horrors are, in order to take them as Battleline, you must have a Crypt Haunter Courtier General or be in the Hallowmorn subfaction. A good way to think of the Crypt horrors is that they are just bigger Crypt ghouls. They have 7-inch move, 10 bravery, 4 wounds, and a 5-up save. Their melee profile club and talons has 1-inch reach, 3 attacks for the leaders, 3 attacks for the regulars, 4 for the leader, force to hit, 3s to wound, no rend, and 2 damage. They have a few unique abilities. They have the reroll 1s to hit if they're near an abhorrent hero, similar to the Crypt Ghouls. They heal 1 wound in your hero phase if there's any wounds remaining. And 6s to wound on the clubs and talons change the damage characteristic to 3 instead of 2. So Crypt Ghouls Crypt Horrors are just bigger, harder hitting Crypt Ghouls. They do well with the pluses to attack buffs that the various heroes give through magic. To maximize their efficientness, I would take them in squads of 3 to 6. If you're wanting to take squads of 6, that is like a buff unit that you just want to put all of your eggs in one basket to blow something up. I would keep them near abhorrent heroes, and a good idea is to have the Crypt Horrors follow your Crypt Ghouls around, so the Ghouls can soak up the damage and the Horrors can do the damage and clean up the enemy, whatever's left of them at least. So that was the Flesh Eater Courts Battleline. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like or a comment. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave that down in the comments below. Thank you. This has been the Wardrobe of Woe.